Yeah.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Welcome back. I'm Sean.
And I'm Jen.
And today, we're going to talk about 2022, 2023, and Bento. He just walked in.
He literally just walked in. Hi, Bento.
Hi,
He's a little scared because of the fireworks. So if you hear like explosions happening, it's just fireworks because our neighbors are apparently super excited about New Year's. So
yeah, we're literally filming this at like 8 o'clock.
He just tried to look at a watch that does not exist on his wrist. I just need to point that out for the internet to see. Thank you very much. So yeah, we wanted to... Shut up. We just wanted to talk about New Year's and Bento stopped clawing the floor. We just wanted to talk about 2022 and goals and hopes for 2023 and stuff like that. So let's start with all the things that happened in 2022. I have to say this is one of the biggest years of my life was 2022.
Let me ask you this. Was 2022 what 2021 Jen would have expected?
No.
Same here.
Not at all. Big things happened in 2022 for me. Like, big things. I accomplished things in 1 year that most people don't do in a lifetime. It's like insane, okay?
She was like, I'm going to live like 15 lives in 1 year.
Right? I'm going to start with... The year kind of started with me finishing a song I wrote years ago. Like I was 16 when I wrote this song. And then from finishing that song to taking 2 songs that I had written, that one and then a song I wrote the year before, and getting them professionally recorded, produced, mastered, and released. I released 2 original songs this year.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's a childhood dream come true times 2. Okay? I never thought I would release an original song and have my friends stream it on Spotify. Like, strangers are streaming my song, and it's like so cool.
Your songs you can find on like Instagram, TikTok,
I can use them
iTunes,
as Instagram sounds. Like, what? What is this?
That's you.
And for one of the tracks, I got to go to a professional recording studio and actually record. So that was really cool. The other one, I worked with a producer out in LA, but I didn't actually go there. I just recorded all the stuff here and sent it to him. And we worked via Zoom back and forth, which was really convenient and a lot of fun. He was great to work with. So
he was really nice.
Yeah. What an accomplishment. What a dream come true. And that is just one small piece of the 2022 puzzle. Like... Yeah. I'm still reeling over it. Like, we just released Again One Day. That's the name of the track, Again One Day. We just released it a couple of weeks ago. I was actually going to wait until January to release it, but a good friend of mine, Mike, told me, don't sit on your art because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So whatever you do tomorrow, whatever you do up to tomorrow could be the last thing you ever do. Could be the only things you ever do on this earth. Don't sit on your art. Release it. Let the world hear it, because what happens if you don't release it and then as of someday in the near future, no one ever gets to hear it? And I was like, that's deep for hanging out at a con, but all right. And it meant the world to me that he said that, and I went ahead and released it. So I'll have to do a better marketing push in January, but there's no point in not releasing it this year. So, yeah. That was a big accomplishment.
Huge.
Yeah, when I never would have been able to do it without your inspiration, your support, and your help. So thank you. Never, ever would have been able to find my voice again without you.
I helped her make the original basic backtrack for OTP, and then George came in and just made it like...
Oh my God, he nailed it. And the guitar parts are my favorite part of that song. I didn't have anything to do with those parts, and they are still my favorite part of my song. Like, that's so me, though. My favorite part not having anything to do with me. That's always so me.
Yeah, that was
it
was really cool to see that, just how it took the path that it took from when you created the one song to when you finished your other song.
I should do a whole vlog on that for my music channel, like the process of recording and producing and releasing a song. I feel like songwriters would like to know about that, so I think we'll do an episode of that on the podcast. And
which we'll get into later.
We'll talk about later. And then I can also release a video of that for the Jenne Music channel. So that'd be good. So what else did we do?
What else did we do? Like fast forwarding a little bit. Let's see.
I know what happened in April, May, and June. That was kind of a big deal.
What? There wasn't anything big that happened in April, May, and June.
Well, in April, I got wind that my studio that I was teaching at, one of my dance studios that I've been teaching at for 11 or 12 years at that point, the owner wanted to retire and couldn't really get anybody to take it over for her. And that involved like purchasing the studio and just taking on owning a studio. And I kind of like was like, you know, if you really need somebody, let me know. I'm saving up to buy a house, but whatever. And I kind of didn't think too much of it after that. And then it got urgent, like super urgent. And then on June 1st of 2022, I got the keys to a new place that I leased, and I became the owner of Arts on the Edge. And within about a week of that, I didn't become the sole owner anymore. I asked Sean and our friend Panda to own it with me because I am a realist and I know that I am way too busy to do this. I couldn't do it. And to be very, very honest, without Panda, we would not be able to do this. So if she's watching, seriously, thank you. I would not have been able to do this without you. So yeah, yay best friend.
Yeah,
Go best
she's
friend.
amazing.
So yeah, that was a big thing that happened on my 39th birthday. I became a dance studio owner. And the first week we had no AC and we were still having class. There was no power.
We were trying to get ready for their recital that they
had.
Yeah,
it was a mess. It was a long story. It was a very instant takeover. It was, hey, you need to take it now. And I was like, there's 10 days till recital. She's like, I realize that, but you need to take it now. And I was like, oh, okay. So got the keys and opened the doors and everyone was really, really cool about it. And yeah.
Yeah, that June 1st, we went in and...
No, June 1st, I was planning on having a birthday celebration with my adult class. With my adult tap class, we were planning on having a cool birthday night for me, and then I was going to go out to dinner with my friends. We spent that night moving the studio instead of having class and having dinner. Yeah,
we had a lot of the moms and dads and the students come in, and they just helped us rip it all apart and bring it to the new place.
It was such a labor of love. I'm sorry if the camera's shaking. Bento decided he wanted to... rub all over it. He's really scared. The poor baby.
Okay.
It's okay, baby.
But yeah, so we're now studio owners, which was not something I ever intended on doing.
But it's also an art studio, so that is something that you intended on doing at some point. So I accomplished releasing 2 original songs. That's crazy. And we bought a studio, and now we own one. Oh, God, that's crazy.
And that brings us just to June.
Maybe we missed something. I don't know. I can't remember if we did anything monumental in January or February, but...
we had cons.
We did. We went to a new city with GalaxyCon. We went to Richmond, and I got to tap dance in front of the statue of Bill Bojangles Robinson, which was so cool. Then we did a pretty big thing, actually.
When?
July 23rd.
Was I there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
What did we do?
We got married.
Oh, that's right. We did get married.
The better part of our year, actually, was planning a wedding. We got married. Some of you guys were there. Thank you so much for sharing in that day with us. And if you weren't there and you were going to be at the next one, thank you so much for sharing that day with us. We're filming this about exactly a week till the second wedding. For anyone that doesn't know, definitely check out our saga of Jen and Sean's excellent adventure because it is not over yet, even though we did get married. My mom and brother were not able to be at the wedding, so we are having another one week from today. The Star Trek nerdy wedding of my dreams. So excited. So yeah, we got married. I mean... Did you ever think you were going to get married? No. I didn't think I was going to get married again. I really didn't.
I've always been that I don't plan on getting married. I don't see any purpose in it kind of person. And then she came along and it was like, it just felt right, you know?
Felt right to say that you're my person forever.
Although, it's what? 6 months later, 5 months
Is
later.
it 5 months? It's 5 months later.
It's still weird to call her my wife.
I know, it's still weird to use
Like,
the
if I
word
call
husband.
somewhere and I have to reference her as my wife, I'm like, my wife?
I don't know.
It's just weird to say.
It's easier to say you're my person.
Yes, it's my Jen.
It's my Sean. So yeah, that was a pretty big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we spent the next 2 months planning it again, only to have it thwarted by a hurricane. And now we are finally in the final planning bits again, and hopefully nothing will take this away, because we just... Honestly, I'm kind of done getting married and would like to just be married.
Yeah.
I would like to not plan weddings. It's a lot. I know a lot of brides wait their whole lives for that moment, and then they're sad that it's over. It's fine if it's over. Like, it was great to do, and you have the memories and you have the photos, and that's great. You don't need to do it over and over again. It's a lot of stress. 10 out of 10 would not recommend, but I'm very happy to do it again for my mom and brother. So
I feel like the stressful part's done. The stressful one. I think this is
I
the
still
fun
have
one.
to do a lot of stuff
Yeah,
for
that's
this
true.
one. So you're saying the stressful one's done because there's not as many people, there's not as stressful of a crowd, and, you know, Star Trek. We have to go get married on the bridge of the Enterprise. Like, what's the problem? Okay, and so then we moved to... like August. We got COVID twice.
We did. We got
in a
it
row.
Beginning of
We got
August.
COVID right after the wedding. Then we went to Dragon Con, where I literally danced the best show of my life. Like, I've never danced that good in my whole life. It was great. I'm serious. Like, I got off stage and went, that was the best I've ever danced. Felt so good. Even at 1 a.m. I'm really impressed. Then we got COVID again. Right after we got home, we got it again. So... as much as it sucked, and I did have to miss out on some really monumental, like, gigs, one in particular was really terrible, and then one for Noise Complaint I was really sad to miss, because we, it was a new con, it was by a friend of a friend who, like, owns the con, and we had to say no because we had COVID. It was kind of nice to have the time together.
It was different because we're always on the go.
Yeah.
Because, like, I work... during the day, and she works during the day, but then she also teaches at night, and I teach at night on some other days. So a lot of times we see each other in passing, or like on Tuesdays, I'll see her when I wake up at like 5:30 in the morning, and she's out cold. And then I get ready for work, and I go to leave. I wave at her, and she doesn't move. That's great. And then I leave, and then when I get home,
I'm still teaching in St. Augustine, and I don't get home till about 10 o'clock.
Yeah. So then I'll see her. Then like, hey, morning.
Yeah. It's like, hey, what's for dinner? Oh, good, I'm making it. Cool.
But speaking of time and different things, like what took
real
up
quick,
our time?
I was going to say that felt like a little mini honeymoon, honestly. Sorry. We're getting over Christmas colds. That felt like a mini honeymoon, though. Even though we were sick, it felt like right after the wedding, we got to spend all this quality time together. Miserable quality time, but also, like, nice movie watching couch time.
We just laid there and just was like, did we take medicine?
Well, what were you going to say, speaking of time?
But speaking of time, like, the other things that have been taking up our time so that way we barely saw each other, there was another thing that we did.
Right around that time?
Yeah, right around that time.
Does it involve this thing that we're sitting in right now?
A room?
Yes.
I think it does.
Guys, we bought a house.
We did. Now, let's rewind. Let's rewind a little bit. A couple months before the studio,
Yeah.
we were actually looking
We were
at a
in
house.
process to buy a house. If you haven't seen the vlog on buying a house, definitely check that out. It's somewhere on our channel. I'll try to link it in the eye or the description or something.
Yeah, we literally had we had the appraisal, we did all that, and then there's a couple things that we wanted fixed, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll fix it, but we're gonna add 10 grand." No,
It wasn't a minor thing that we wanted fixed. The roof was 20 years old.
now
And we were like, no, we can't afford to replace the roof and pay full price for this house. And the price of the house was like $410,000.
It was already at the top of our budget at that point.
That was beyond the top of our budget,
but
okay?
The roof was only like designed for 15 years. And it had
gone
been
20. And I'm like, on top of the massive cost of this house, which we were only able to get because I had worked 2 full-time jobs for like 6 months at that point and was able to save up a little bit. That was the only reason we were going to be able to even touch that kind of price range.
We also, and like the water heater was old.
Oh, yeah. But all we
AC.
asked for was the roof to be fixed. And they said, we'll fix it, but we're going to tack $10,000 onto your price of your house. And we're like, you just priced us out of this house. Good luck getting a buyer. We're out. And so I put the money away. Then I blew it on a studio.
But yeah, so
and then we started the house buying process right after the wedding.
And we decided to just go look at a couple houses.
We didn't plan on it. The realtor messaged me and was like, hey, are you ready to start again? And she's like, I have a couple here. And I was like, let's just look. What's the problem? Let's just look. And eventually we found this perfect house that we're sitting in. We
actually were like interested in looking at condos.
Yeah, we were
something a little
more in our price range and in our upkeep ability. But actually this house has like no yard and definitely has the right amount of upkeep for us.
For those of you that have seen Jen's filming space at the old place, our front yard is smaller than, and our backyard is smaller than that to cut.
What do you mean?
Like the living room?
Oh, the tap dance filming space. Yeah, our entire yard, front and back, is smaller than that living room. So it's the perfect size for us. But yeah, we bought a house and like, honestly, I have to say, if it weren't for the Hometown Heroes program of Jacksonville, I would not have been able to buy this house because I blew all the money I saved on the studio. So we had no down payment money. And if it weren't for the Hometown Heroes program that is there to help teachers, if that program is still around when you watch this video and you live in Florida or Jacksonville or whatever, check out programs like that. They might be able to help you if you work in a community service kind of job, frontline job. Teaching is one of those service industry jobs. So that was crucial in helping us afford this place and being able to do the down payment. We would not have been able to do it otherwise. We thought we weren't going to be able to get that. We're literally going through all of our accounts and scraping cash together. Like, can we get this house? We want this house.
Yeah, we sat down one night and was like, all right. I got a bunch of quarters.
I got $20 right here.
Yeah, we were going through like we don't need to count the quarters yet.
But they were there in case we did. But it really came through. It was the most stressful process of my entire life. Buying a studio was less stressful than this. Moving into the studio on my birthday when it wasn't planned and having a week's worth of no power classes was less stressful than buying a house. It was the hurry up and wait and stress about it moment or like game. They
kept saying, we're almost there.
We're getting there. And we're like, what does that mean?
You're close.
What does that mean? You're close. Do you mean like $5 close or $5,000 close? Like what do you mean we're close?
Oh yeah, you're close.
What?
Like can we get a rough estimate?
No.
Like do I need to go do day labor to make up a couple $100 or should I like go sell like my kidney? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Apparently it was sell your kidney clothes. Yeah. But they made it work. They made it work. Thanks to the Hometown Heroes program. So thank you to whoever set that up. I appreciate it. And Rachel, thank you for telling me about it because I wouldn't have known about it had you not mentioned it in class. So if you're watching this video, thank you so much. But yeah, so that pretty much sums up our big things, doesn't it? Does it?
Oh, you were in a ballet performance in the spring.
Oh yeah, I was in Cinderella. That's not that big of a deal.
And then you were in one in December.
You mean you were in one. He did something amazing this year, guys. He was in a ballet for the first time in his whole life.
40 years old, never took a ballet class in his life.
Injured veteran who was told he'd never walk properly ever. Literally, like, and injured from a car accident, but that's beside the point. But also your knee. Yeah. But, like, you were in a ballet. He tap danced, he did hip hop, and he did ballet. And he lifted. Like, he was a lead, too. You were the Rat King.
I got to be the Rat King in the Christmas Fantastique, which is like
it's basically the Nutcracker. It's just called something different. And the story is a little bit different, and it doesn't have the party scene, which is fantastic.
It gets rid of the
boring fantastique. It gets rid of the boring part, to be honest.
I've seen a lot of Nutcrackers, and I tell you what, this is the first one that I've ever watched where I'm like,
oh my god, the gingerbread were the best part.
Oh my god,
they were literally the best part. Oh, once again, not me, the best part. I was the lead soldier and the lead Russian, and I was in snow. and he was the Rat King, and he was in Russian, and he was also in...
I was a trumpeter.
He was a trumpeter in Spanish, and he was a prop in Arabian, I would say.
Yeah.
He helped the little ones balance.
I was like this the whole time.
Yeah.
But no, it was really
amazing.
cool. I got to... Everybody was great to work with.
I'm so proud of you.
Everybody understood that I didn't have that type of background. But it was like, as the Rat King, it was like, if anything messes up, it's just funny.
And they let him be himself. She said, like, Ms. Zoika was like, be hip-hop, be big, be loud. And she's like, oh, I can do all of those things.
She said the words, be goofy.
Yeah, and that's perfect for you. I'm so proud of you.
But I learned, what is it? Balance, suit.
Yes, suit new, and then releve fourth. Or PK fourth.
Yep. And do not do cheeseburger.
No cheeseburger.
No cheeseburger.
There were a couple other things that we did this year that were pretty big. Not nearly as big as that. We went on a honeymoon.
We did.
And we still need to film the video about the show. The Love and Marriage show.
Oh.
We did the Love and Marriage show on the boat. So it was like the Newlywed Game. Video coming with video clips, by the way. It's just you have to edit that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, video coming. Maybe we'll film that tomorrow.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be fun. Anyway, just planning things. So the honeymoon was great. We did go, the honeymoon was basically our family cruise that we do with my mom and brother every year. And they were there, but it still served as our honeymoon. And it was really nice to get away and just have the alone time with us. But also being able to spend it with my mom and brother, because I hadn't seen them since April. Because COVID, and then COVID, and then COVID. Actually, literally I hadn't, and then the move. The move was insane. I never want to move again. Luckily we own this place so we don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I was talking about earlier. When we bought this place, it was just constant. We had like a month to move the stuff.
2 months.
2 months to just move. And that's so like I'd get off work, go move a couple boxes, come home or go teach, and then it was just nonstop. And then Jen was doing it too whenever she had time, and we were just nonstop.
I'm trying to think of anything else we did, like we accomplished. I wrote another song. It's in progress of being like recorded, finished, mastered, all that. So stay tuned, and that'll go on the last part of the video. Oh, I got nominated for Best of Jack's Best Local Weirdo.
You did.
For Folio Weekly. I don't know if I won. I don't know.
You'll find out January 18th.
Yeah. I hope I did, but if not, no big deal. It's just so cool to be nominated. I got to design my own fragrance.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking over there. It's like right over there. It's called Noise, and you can actually order it. I can put a link down below. Yeah, it's called Noise, and it smells like green tea and jasmine and citrus. 3 scents that I love. I got to design the whole thing myself, and I designed the label myself. I picked the name and all that, and it's with Scentcraft. So you can definitely, this is not an ad for that. It's pretty cool that I got to do that. Like, they reached out to me and were like, do you want to design a fragrance? I was like, I'm allergic to most fragrances, but yeah, sure, let's give it a try. And then they sent me the sample after I picked the flavors that I wanted. They sent me the sample, and I was like, I'm not allergic to this. Oh my God, it smells so good. So, yeah. What else?
You saw, let's see, on your channels, your social media, you've seen insane growth.
My Instagram went from 2,000 to almost 40,000 followers at this moment. I think I'm at 32.8. So not almost 40. So just over 30,000, which is insane. I'm able to monetize it now, which is not something I ever expected to do with Instagram. And TikTok went from 10,000 to over 30,000 within just like a month from one very terrible video. Very, very terrible video. I think I had 12,000 followers, and then that video came out. It got like 8 million views. Worst video I've ever made. I was testing my lighting in my new studio setup here, and so I made a riffs video in the worst outfit with the worst lighting, and that video has 8 million views. Here is my best piece of advice to anyone who's getting into content creation. Your worst video is the most likely to go viral. This has happened multiple times to me. The worst video is most likely to be your best video. It sucks.
Hands down.
But, so yeah, I saw a lot of social media growth, and yeah.
Yeah, your YouTube channel is booming.
Yeah, YouTube's almost at that milestone of 10,000 followers, which is great. This YouTube we've been consistent, and I'll be proud of that. We've been consistent with content, as
We're at
consistent as we can be.
277 subscribers, I think, as of right now.
Sorry.
So, hey to all 277 of you. Hello.
So yeah, that is oh, we started a band.
We did.
I looked at the musical equipment. We started a band. It's called The Side Job, and I got back in front of people. I'm sorry, I need to go grab a drink. Will you explain the band?
So basically, as you guys know, Jen is like stupid, incredibly talented.
Stop.
No, but she's a really great singer, and she loves writing parodies. And one of the things that she's always wanted to do was have a band. However, unfortunately, working with people, a lot of times schedules don't line up, or some people are flaky, things like that. So it just wasn't working for her. So basically, she talked to me. Now, I have no desire to play instruments. None. Don't give me a violin. Don't give me drums. Don't give me anything like that. However, I have a background in DJing. So I did that for years, and so she was like, hey, would you be willing to help me make the backtracks like I've already been doing? And she wanted to know if I'd be willing to play them live with her.
I basically said, I'm going to propose something to you that means the world to me, but I want you to be able to do it on your terms. I'm not going to make you do something that you don't want to do, but I can't imagine doing a project like this with anyone else.
I may look like a bassist. I am not a bassist.
I said, I'm happy to make electronic music and perform electronic music if it means I can perform it with you. So, and he did.
Yep. So
we've performed twice now?
3 times.
3 times?
Well, the first time, we weren't the Side Job yet.
No, but we did it. 4 times then. We had 2 events with Max, and then with SabiCon, and then Condration.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've performed 4 times. I'm very, very excited. Thank you so much for doing this with me. Wow, what a lot of accomplishments we've had in 2022. Like, yikes. So how are we going to top this in 2023?
Nap time.
I think for me, the goal is not to top it. The goal is to think of goals that I want to achieve and focus on things that I want to do and be and pursue in this coming year. And I think that should be similar for you if it's not. It's not about topping it. 2022 will forever be one of the best years of our lives. One of the biggest and best years of our lives. We are never going to get married and buy a house in the same year ever again. Hopefully neither of those things after next weekend ever again. We're starting the year with getting married again on the bridge of the Enterprise. So I'd say that's a good start to the year. But big things that I know I'm planning for the year. I plan on producing the next song myself.
Yep, it's going to be something that we're going to be developing the backtracks, she's going to record it. She's going to master it.
It's going to take a long time, but I want to try to do this one myself. Mostly because it's the most cost-effective way, but also it's the way that lets me have the most control over it. And as we know, I'm a control freak. So, but I'm happy to work with George or Hutch Music again. Baysound Studios is George's studio. So I'm happy to work with Baysound or with Hutch Music again. But I'd like to give this one a try on my own, I think. So that's one of my biggest goals, is to produce my own song. I don't have the goal of writing a full album. I can't give myself that goal because you can't rush art and you can't make art under pressure. Sometimes, like I can make dances under pressure, but are they going to be my best work? I don't know. Probably not. They might be good, but they might not be my best work. And when it comes to making a dance, if I'm making a dance because it's going to go on stage with my companies, I'm not going to rush it. It's going to be my best work. Minus the video game set for Noise Complaint that was made during the pandemic, and I had to make something that was easy to learn via Zoom. So that doesn't count. But like when I made Hallelujah, I spent time making that. When I made Nintendo, I spent time making that.
I watched her make Hallelujah, and literally she would listen to different parts of the song, like different areas, like the different levels of the track, and would just be like, okay, well, I hear it there. Okay.
Yeah, I spent time making that dance. And so when it comes to music, I want to spend time and really like finish a song and make it something that came straight from my soul. I can't do that if the goal is to turn 12 of them out, you know? And it all starts with me sitting with my guitar and hoping that the inspiration comes. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I think one song a year is a great goal. I think that's a good goal, one song a year, maybe two.
And that's for her original stuff.
That's my original stuff. I can write parodies like that. Like, I don't know why, but I just can.
And we do have a separation between her original and the side job.
Yes.
So... doesn't mean she won't perform any
I
of
could,
those.
yeah, I could perform them with this. I perform OTP with the side job. Again, one day might be a little heavy for the crowd. I'm not sure. Another goal of mine is to finally do something that I've been avoiding for years and get back into yoga. At the end of the year, I actually suffered a pretty bad neck injury. I'm finally able to move my neck most of the way. I would say I have about 97% mobility in my neck. It would not have healed nearly this much already if not for Todd. Thank you so much for the help, all the advice and all of the work that you did on me. Thank you so much. Like, you have no idea. I can actually move. I can sleep. I can finally sleep. But because where was I going with that? Yoga. Because of the neck injury, I had to find ways of getting more mobility in my neck, and one of the ways that I did that was every morning I would get up and do very gentle yoga. And I forgot how good yoga makes me feel, and it makes me mad because yoga is kind of boring to me, but I also forgot how good it makes me feel when I do it. So a big goal of mine is to get back into yoga, hopefully halfway through the year, to the point where I can get recertified to teach it. So that's a goal of mine. And then one more goal is, I have a lot, actually. I didn't put this on the vision board, but my goal was actually to get my dad's last book published.
Yeah.
With my mom. Yeah. What are some of your goals before we talk about the vision board? This is going to be a long vlog, y'all. Strap in.
Some of my goals. Whoa, what will we talk about?
I know one of the goals for you was, like, which side of the board? Well, do you want to just talk about the vision board?
Yeah, let's talk about the vision board, because that's the easiest way.
Yeah, so I was on Instagram the other day, and this girl that I follow, she does, like, super, super funny videos, and she was talking about how she uses the week between Christmas and New Year's to recenter and focus on her goals and aspirations, and one of the things she does is makes a vision board, and I was like, what's a vision board? That sounds lame. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. So she makes a vision board of, like, visual things that remind her of what her goals and like growth areas are for the next year. And then she sets it as her desktop background on all of her devices. And I was like, oh, that's so smart. So I went on Canva and I found a template, and I made myself a vision board. It took me a couple hours, but like I went with the template. Maybe next year I'll do something a little different, but this one had 4 different areas. I changed what the template's areas were, because one of them was like family, and I was like, no, because it was like starting a family, and I was like, no thanks. So my 4 areas are, I'm gonna start down here because that's the one I started with, because that's where my brain goes first. Business, so that's where I've got the podcast, which we'll talk about. I've got the studio. I've got noise complaint and rhythm theory, and the goal of putting them into theater stages. I've got the side job, and basically everything that has to do with music and dance in the business side of it. And then up here, sorry, I don't know, I guess I'm starving. Up here I have projects, and that's where it's my personal, like, original music, and because the side job is like a band, that's a business. My original music is a little bit different. It's more of a project. The vlog channel, this is a project. So this is up there as something that I want to continue to grow and love and do, because it's fun to do with you, and it's so fun to connect with you guys. And getting more into digital art. Actually, is on my project side. I put digital art up there, and performing live. Performing live is up there as well.
I'm pulling.
So you're pulling yours up. And then on the other half, there's two more. One of them is like self. And for that, I have a picture of like a very organized house. And this past week, I've spent the whole week organizing this house and really, really cleaning it up. And don't worry, house tour is coming because it's almost clean. But I feel less anxiety when my house is in order. I spend all day in this house. I work at home. So when my house isn't cluttered, it's all about clutter for me. When there's no clutter, I feel so much less anxiety. So that was a big thing for me to like focus on making sure that my house stays organized. Doing yoga, that's on that personal, like myself one. Eating better, getting more nutrients with my food, eating less chicken nuggets, vegan chicken nuggets, and eating more actual vegetables and legumes. And then I forget what the fourth one is. Actually, oh, you have it. Oh, that's a big one. Working with my OCD to start learning how to touch things that are outside. That's the next one. Just being outside, touching a plant, and not feeling like I have to wash my hands after I touch a plant. I know, if you're new to this channel, that probably sounds weird. I have a video on my OCD. Go check it out. It's a lot. That was important to me to have on there. And then the last one is growth. I have improving at drums and guitar, and I have traveling. Growth for me is traveling because I'm not good at traveling. I can travel for work just fine, but traveling for personal is very hard for me. I tend to be a little bit of a homebody now, and I don't really like to leave the house. So I have a picture of Asheville so that we actually go take that camping and hiking trip. And I have a picture of New York City with a dancer in it, which reminds me to go to New York and take classes. Please, Jen, go to New York and take classes because you need to. And also I have a picture of like studying for school and stuff because one of my big things for this year is to go back to school and get like my certification classes done for like teaching and stuff. I mean, I'm like the recertification ones. So that's one. And then I have a picture of our house so that I can grow as a homeowner and learn how to do it because I don't know how. So those are my goals for 2023. That's basically what's on my vision board. I think I got everything. Oh, wait, that's yours. I made him one in an hour last night.
Yeah, I was like, that's really cool. And she was like, do you want me to make you one? And I'm like, yes, because you and I both know I would never complete it. So
I'm happy to make them. They're so much fun to make. Like, if you're one of my friends, you want me to make you a vision board, I would be happy to do that for you. It takes me about an hour as long as you write out to me what your goals are. So go ahead and talk about them.
So I'm just going to go ahead and get the worst one out of the way. The myself. So I want to work on eating better. Like she said, I want to eat less processed and more healthy and whole foods, like good foods like mushrooms and peppers and stuff. No,
broccoli,
just stuff that's not made in the microwave.
Things. Yeah, stuff that's not made in the microwave.
I want to get myself stronger and better with my back injury and my knee injury. One of the things that I've been lacking in is physical, like taking care of myself, which is making it hurt more and making me, not as happy as I'd want to be. So she put on here a picture of a guy boxing a punching bag because I don't like traditional working out. I don't like going and lifting weights. I prefer physical punching, kicking, things like that kind of workout. It's just more fun to me. And she also put yoga on here because I actually just recently started doing yoga with her, and it's great.
And your back feels a little bit better every time. So
I am not flexible at all, but I've learned that.
You don't have to be flexible to do yoga. Yeah. It's just truly a beautiful process for your body. So.
And also to work on my mind. I've talked about this before. I have severe ADHD, and I just need to figure out my brain and just figure out how to work with it and how to utilize what I can. Projects. This safety scissors and duct tape.
Yes.
Or it's one of my projects. I love doing it. It's a blast with you, and I'd like to be more on top of doing our social media and things like that. Bringing our TikTok back.
That's the band.
The side job.
For you, it's a project. For me, it's a business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. Like, for you, it is a project because you said you would do it for me and with me. But for me, it's a business because I want to be a professional musician. So, yeah.
And then...
Graffiti. Getting back into graffiti.
Legally,
yeah.
Yeah, I miss it. I miss every aspect of it. Just the design, the painting, all of it. So I'd love to get back into that. And then the podcast.
We're starting a podcast. We've talked about this before.
And we did it for a while. But
yeah, we did it. We had the Safety Sisters and Duct Tape podcast, but now we're going to be starting a new podcast, and details are coming about that. We're actually going to be planning it tomorrow while we finish his office. So yeah, that's one of the big things that is a goal for us for 2023 is to start a new podcast that we're very, very excited about. It'll be more of a traditional podcast where we could even bring on guests, and it will be, just
lots of info coming from that.
And it will be streamable and not streamable. Yeah, streamable on like Spotify and stuff.
And then that was it for that, right?
Yeah.
And then business.
Noise complaint is a project.
Noise complaint. Working on getting better at that, making noise complaint bigger and better. Then the business side, becoming a manager at my job. Because I would like to make more money.
But also you're fit for that. Becoming either a manager or like a supervisor or training person.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people go to him to ask him questions that they should be asking a supervisor. And so he's doing the work of a supervisor. So
that'd be nice. I want to have my own gallery.
A gallery showing of his art. So that's on there.
For those of you that don't know, I am an artist, sort of.
I think everyone on this channel knows that now.
Yeah. I would like to also get enough works together and start selling at conventions again. Like I've done a couple little ones, but I would like to actually. And one of the things that I've struggled with is I've wanted to make stuff that anyone can make.
Because wanted to make stuff people will buy.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, oh, yeah, I should draw Goku, or I should paint, like My Hero Academia, those kind of things, because that's what I see that sells at cons. But I started doing it, and I was like, I don't want to do this.
You gotta make stuff that's you, and people will buy it because it's unique.
So I can incorporate some of that, but in my style.
Yes.
So.
And that's part of the projects is to do graffiti and really hone your own style.
This one?
That's emceeing.
Oh, yeah, emceeing. For those of you that don't know, I'm basically in syncs. Noise complaints.
Are you in syncs MC? Wow.
But no, I'm noise complaints MC. I do a
Your
lot of
rhythm
that.
theories MC as
and
well.
Rhythm theories, yeah. So I'm used to being up there talking and things like that. And there's rumors that I may be the MC for a wedding coming up. Chloe's.
Oh, right.
So
I forgot about that.
So I may be going to a wedding soon.
And then that's just, making art.
Yeah, just
making art for sale, making art for art.
So, making art for me, making art for our house. So,
Yep.
And then the last one is growth.
Growth. The hardest area on there, honestly.
So I want to become a better homeowner. Like
I put a picture of our house again.
I want to understand how to upkeep plants. Like we have pepper plants
and
orange trees
in the back. We need to figure out how to keep those up.
Pomegranate trees.
I don't know if those are still alive.
And then on here it's
making lists.
I am
getting better at making lists. So allowing me to at least.
Yes. And then
that is going to New York and going to galleries, seeing the art of other people, going to more galleries locally too. We need to go to the Kummer Museum. We need to go to the Museum of Modern Art. We need to go to, or Museum of Contemporary Art, sorry, MoCA. So we need to go to more, you need to see more art.
I agree.
But we want to go to New York this year. That's a goal for me to take some dance classes and then us to go to museums for him to look at art and be inspired and maybe find some Banksies.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. And then there's a picture of Hugh Jackman tap dancing.
It looks like a tap class, and so I put that on there so that he would really have that in his vision to take more classes and grow as a tap dancer.
I had a lot of fun this year. We went to
Tampa Bay Tap Festival. So that was phenomenal, and we definitely plan on going again next year and hopefully to more.
I learned a lot. So, Derek and Aaron that taught there were amazing. So
yeah. So, wow, yeah, those are our goals and visions for 2023, and that we're not trying to top 2022. We can't top 2022.
I don't have anything else to buy.
We're broke. We bought a house and 2 weddings. Like, we're broke, guys. But we can't top 2022. Let it be the best year of our lives. Let it sit as the absolute best year of our lives. Mm-hmm. And still make every year after that wonderful. It doesn't have to be like the biggest year ever every year. Let's have a year of just love, growth, and family, and, life. Just live this year. I think that's the biggest thing. Live and accomplish what we can, and just enjoy our first year of marriage together. Mm-hmm. So
I would love to, like we talked about this, I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but I would love to, by my birthday, to have a gallery showing. I think it'd be so cool. And I could probably do it. Just, do I have time and do I have the drive?
We'll see. We'll see if you get inspired for enough pieces for that. Mm-hmm. If not, that's okay. We'll do it. Year. Well, it doesn't have to be on your birthday. Mm-hmm. You don't have to wait for a monumental day, like a specific day to do something. I was going to wait until my grandmother's birthday to release again one day. Why? Why do that? Mm-hmm. Just release it. When it's ready, let it out. Mm-hmm. Let it out into the world.
That's right.
Because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you won't be able to release it. So when you're ready, we'll do the thing. But also, at the same time, don't rush it. Mm-hmm. Don't force yourself to make art you're not proud of. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yeah. Why do what you can do today when you can do it tomorrow? I got you.
Also, the lines of my hair match my shirt. Mm-hmm. And it's very confusing. You see it? I'm like camouflage with my shirt. All right. Well, to close off this video, I know it was very long. Thank you so much for listening to all of these like crazy goals and look backs at 2022. We want to know what your goals are. Mm-hmm. We want to know what your favorite things that you accomplished in 2022 were, and we want to know what your goals for 2023 are, mm-hmm. whether they're big and monumental and like, whatever, mm-hmm. or they're just be happy, be inspired, live a little, relax more, take more naps.
Start a hobby.
That's a good one. Start a hobby. What are your goals? What are your aspirations? What are you hoping to do in the next year of this beautiful, beautiful world? We would love to know. And what did you love most about 2022? What were your high points? What were your low points? And, if you are our friend, which you're on this channel, so obviously you are, we hope that we were there for you during your low points in as much of a capacity as we could be, because we love you. Mm-hmm. So we're just past the Hanukkah season, but I can still say my favorite phrase. Going into the next year, we give you lots of love and light, and we hope that everyone has a kick-ass new year.
Yeah. Just have fun, enjoy life, be you. That's all I have to say.
And find yourself somebody who's as weird as you to hang out with.
That's rough for me to find someone as weird as me.
I'm pretty weird.
But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Please leave a comment below. Let us know the things that she said for your past 2022 and then your goals for 2023. We'd love to hear them. We'll try to keep an eye out and try to comment. And maybe we can have a discussion about them.
Yeah, and super, super quick. Don't forget to subscribe because we're getting there. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up. We're going to close out this video before it hits the next milestone of time. But yeah, so subscribe, thumbs up. We absolutely love you. And
I'm Sean.
And I'm Jen.
And we're out of here. Bye.